Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Car Chronicles for those of you joining for the very first time, as well as my regular Caramellians who love and support this channel. Oh, it is Monday, you guys. The weekend kind of flew by a little bit too fast for me, but nevertheless, it is what it is. We're going to get through it, honey, and enjoy our day. Hopefully you guys woke up, you had a great morning, you got up and got your coffee and your tea and got where you need to be, and you're up feeling busy and not stressed. All right, I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I got off to a little late start. I just didn't feel like getting up this morning. It was one of those things. I went to bed kind of late. Yes, honey, I was up late. Hopefully you guys had a chance to check out last night's review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. We had quite a bit of people in there last night in the live, so I appreciate you guys coming on over and supporting. But yeah, so if you didn't get a chance to check it out, please do, and go on over and hit that like button, honey, as well, and leave some comments and let me know how you feel about the video. Okay. Celebrity news is first, but let me go ahead and do my disclaimer. Everything said in the video is alleged in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. All right. All right, so celebrity news, like I said, is always first. Let's get to it. So we actually have some health news. I can't really call it celebrity news. We call it health news. All right. Now, they're saying that the Houston Health Department issues a warning about a syphilis outbreak, you guys, with 128% increase in cases among women. My Lord, women, protect yourselves out there, okay? Protect yourselves because it's at an all-time high, among other things as well. So if you're still out here being unprotected, those of you that are out here dating and in the dating world, make sure you're protecting yourself because it's out there, okay? Now, they're saying if you live in the Houston, Texas area, please beware of Houston. Please beware that the Houston Health Department reported an outbreak with an increase among women in the city, you guys. They're saying that Harris County, for those of you that live out there, Harris County has, this says, a 9-fold increase in cases since 2019 and reports state new infections that they rose by 57% from 2019 to 2022. Now, they're saying in 2022 that there were 2,905 new infections and 1,845 new infections in 2019. That's a lot, my God. That's a lot. Please protect yourselves out there, all right? Be careful, be careful, be careful while you're dating, because people do not tell you. Thank you so much, Miss Evelyn, for your super chat, my dear. People don't tell you when they have things, and a lot of people who don't have medical insurance, they don't get tested as regularly as they should. And they're just out here dating and spreading things unknowingly. So you have to be very careful with who you lay down with and who you participate in certain acts with, okay? Because you could be in that number. And that's a very serious and scary situation. There are a lot of diseases that you cannot get rid of. You can treat them, but you cannot get rid of them. So let's be very cognizant of what we do with our bodies and who we do them with. And keep in mind that every time you lay down with someone, you do contract spirits in addition to diseases, all right? So just a wake-up call. And a disclaimer for somebody who, want to be out here on the loosey-goosey. You do whatever you want to do with your body, but you have to be very careful because nobody wants to be out here on that type of BS. All right. Moving right along. All right. Maurice Scott. Let's talk about him this morning, child, because y'all know the Scotts, they live to stay in the news. Maurice Scott, as you guys know, he took a hit from fans about his interview from Carlos King after he was heard saying that it's very admirable for Kimmy, honey, to kind of give it to him in an intimate way whenever he wants it. Okay, y'all remember that interview? I covered it, and so did so many other content creators. It was very, very, very crazy of him to say what he said about his wife. So now Kimmy, y'all know, she actually got out there and hurried up and came to Maurice's defense and sat in a whole interview trying to defend him. Every blog, she was on blogs and different social media outlets trying to defend him and get his name back out there to where he didn't look so bad. Well, Kimmy actually says that she's not in pain and she actually enjoys it, and she don't like for Maurice to go after 7 days and all this other stuff. Y'all remember I talked about this, all right? So now on a recent upcoming for the upcoming season, we're going to see, and I kind of touched on it last night in my review, where Maurice is actually arguing with Kimmy, where it's kind of like he's calling her a liar and saying that she's faking the fact that her libido is as low as it is, and that's really not the issue in terms of why she doesn't want to have intimacy with him as regularly as they used to. Now, y'all know Maurice was saying he like it 2, 3, maybe 4 times a day. Kimmy was like, yeah, no. With my libido being the way it is, with me having cancer and radiation treatments, I just don't have the strength to. Maurice is pretty much telling her that, hey, I feel like you just saying that to be saying it. And she's arguing back at him saying, Maurice, like, no, that's really what it is. My libido really is low like that. So, and it sounds insensitive for you to say that. Like, she was just really looking crazy. But my thing is for you to sit there and protect him and speak up for him like you did, and then you guys get on the show and you allow him to gaslight the hell out of you and embarrass you and make you look stupid. It's very insensitive of him as your husband, who is supposed to be your protector, to continue to do this and then ask you to sit on panels to defend him while he sits back and let you do all the talking. I don't understand it. It's crazy. When I saw that, I said, see, Kimmy, this is what I'm talking about with you, sis. You sit up here and you speak out and try to use all these big words trying to sound so educated, and that's fine. But when you're defending someone who does not defend and protect you, it makes you look stupid. You are an older woman anyway. Okay, so you're not going to be probably as active as you used to be when you were younger. Maurice married an older woman. He has to realize that and accept the fact that maybe your libido is a little lower. You're not going to be as attracted to him, probably not attracted to his ass. Because Maurice has a nasty attitude and he thinks that somebody owes him something. Maurice really thinks that somebody owes him something. And last night's episode, well, Saturday's episode really opened my eyes to a lot about Maurice. Maurice mentioned that every single business that he's ever started has failed. Now it wasn't until you got linked up with Kimmy that you actually became somebody, that you had something. He said it out of his own mouth. You were walking around with a credit score of 401, 406. You had nothing. You had no, anything about you that made you, no get up about you that made you want to be successful. So you really didn't meet success until you met Kimmy. Kimmy was the one that brought you out of the destitute place that you were, to even make you look like you could walk around here in that same ass blue suit that you be walking around in, that blue suede suit. Thinking your ass is Elvis out here. I don't understand it with him. You bigging yourself up now like you somebody. You really think you this huge businessman that you ain't nobody. Kimmy had to pay for you to get your actual certificate to even say that you're a lawyer. And then you turn around and disrespect the hell out of her and talk to her the way that you have, knowing what she is going through. It's insensitive. But I got to kind of blame Kimmy, and I got to hold her feet to the fire on it, because she allows him to continue to do it. And then you sit there and say, oh, no, it's really not that bad, guys. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm fine. Me and Maurice, we're fine. I love my husband. Well, you can love him, but you also need to check him. You also need to check him. But then he also mentioned, I noticed, that the only reason he started the Credit One business is because his own credit was, in jeopardy. So were you doing some things that you should not have been doing, Maurice? That's what it's kind of sounding like. To get your credit up to where it needed to be, where you kind of doing some illegal activity. I'll say allegedly. Kimmy was kind of fidgeting when he was talking on stage. Like, all right, Maurice, don't say too much up here now. Don't say too much up here, Maurice. She was fidgeting. Trying to fix her little thing. She was really fidgety up there when Maurice got to talking. As she always is. Y'all remember at the reunion, somebody's going to get sued. She hurried up and piped him down and started talking over him. She took over the conversation. Because she knows when Maurice gets to talk, Maurice is a criminal as well. We already talked about as many times he's been arrested. So the person y'all see walking around in this suit trying to act so important, not so much. His brother Marcel is also, a.k.a. Fraudso. He's a criminal as well. They are fraudsters. All of them. All of them. I say allegedly to be cute, but we keep hearing things. And it's not a coincidence that everybody is saying the same thing about you. People are saying that they have paid Maurice at Credit One to fix their credit. Ain't nothing been done, but they still having payments deducted from their account. You are living off people's honest money who come to you for help for a business that you saying that you running in order to help the black community, but you are taking from the black community. It's the same with Marceau. People are paying you up front for jobs and you're not doing the job and keeping their money to the tunes of thousands of dollars. We just saw, shout out to Anthony Loftus for his video where he had a woman on his panel where she talked about over $250,000 where Marceau took from her. But then y'all do segments on Love and Marriage Huntsville where you are helping the black community. How? How are you helping the black community when you're stealing from the black community? I don't understand it. And I feel like the more we as content creators continue to talk about this and expose this issue, you can shut it down. It needs to be shut down. People work too hard for their money to hand it over to someone who come out here trying to act like they're one thing and when they're really another. It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. And Kimmy, you sitting here with Maurice knowing the mess that's going on. You, ma'am, are also involved in some type of way. I keep saying you can't be married to these fools knowing what they're doing, and you don't know anything. You living in the house with him. It's a hot damn mess. You can love a person, but when they on that type of mess, they all gonna wind up in jail. Watch what I tell you. Carlos King got a show full of criminals and scammers. Criminals and damn scammers. I don't know where he be finding these people. It's like he does these interviews, and if you know, 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door of prison, then you make the cut. That's what it's looking like. Everybody on this damn show, with the exception of Miss Van and Melody, and Chris Fletcher and his wife, are criminals and damn scammers. Crazy individuals. Crazy in the damn individuals. I don't understand it. My God. Kimmy need to get far away from Maurice. Them Scott brothers is something else. It's something, I kept saying there's something about them. It's something about them. It's something that's getting ready to be exposed to with Marceau. Because in the upcoming scene where Melody's saying, when he's trying to be smart with Melody, talking about, oh, Mel don't cry. Mel said, your ass need to be crying because when Tisha wind up leaving you, your ass gonna be crying. Because quiet is kept. Marceau can't tick without Tisha and that credit. And that's on period. They rely on their women. The Scott brothers rely on their women to make them relevant. Tisha out work, he want to stay home, but he want to use that credit table because he ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing. Kimmy is carrying Maurice, and that's a fact. Just like Melody was carrying Martell, and you saw how lost his ass looked at the expo. He couldn't even get up there and put 2 sentences together. Still worried about Mel, still trying to hide behind Mel. Well, wonder why Mel won't come up here. She don't need to come up there. You say you're a businessman, get up there and start talking. Talk about your business. Talk about your business. You don't need Melody up there to hide behind her and ride her coattail again. Didn't you say you made her? I made her. I retired her from being a school teacher. Okay. Prove it. Prove it. Get up there and talk. Get up there and talk. A bunch of fraudsters. Lame clowns that hide behind their women and want people to believe that it's them that's the successful ones. It's a hot mess. But hey, Kimmy, if you love it, baby, if you like it, I absolutely love it. But you look like a fool out here. You really do. You look like a whole fool, Kimmy. I was liking Kimmy in the beginning when Love and Marriage Huntsville first came on. I was like, oh, I like Kimmy. I like Kimmy. She kind of stays out of the mess. But then with this whole side chick mess coming out, and she's trying to act like, oh, I'm above being a side chick. When you are, sis. You are. I know it's embarrassing, and I said it before. It's embarrassing as hell for you to let your husband gaslight the hell out of you and play you against his ex-wife continuously and still doing it. Still doing it. And now he's telling you that you're not as sick as you are. And you can still perform like you used to because he got a problem. And I done said it before, Maurice got a problem. He has a problem. But moving on, child. Thank God that Carly was found. Y'all know the girl from Alabama. I think she's from Alabama. She was found, you guys. She was found. Now, they're saying her boyfriend actually spoke out. Carly Russell's boyfriend says that she was kidnapped and found. And she actually fought for her life, is what he was saying. It says that Carly actually vanished this past Thursday in Hoover, Alabama, after pulling over on I-459 highway on the heels of her reportedly seeing a child alone on the side of the road walking at night, which that sounds like a setup. That sounds like a setup, which that's a normal thing. If you see a child walking at night, you're gonna be like, oh my God, what's going on with this child? And your instinct is to get out and see what's going on with this child and maybe call the authorities or whatever. So whoever did that knew what they were doing, because that's one way to lure somebody out of their car if you have intentions to do things that you should not be doing. Okay, which I feel like that's what it was. I feel like it's a trafficking situation. Okay, and I'm gonna talk about something else here in a minute to give you guys some awareness, because I like to do that. Whenever I hear it, I like to give you guys that, because there's so much crazy stuff going on in the world, and I like to make people aware of those things. Okay, definitely. We're driving. Give me 1 second, guys. We like to be safe out here. All right, but anywho, so they're saying that Carly's boyfriend, honey, says that she fought for her life for 48 hours and that she's physically and mentally still healing from this situation. Now, they really haven't gone into details in terms of what happened while she was kidnapped. I'm sure she will probably talk about that in the very near future. But for now, thank God she is found. She is okay. She did go to the hospital. They checked her out and everything and things of that nature. But thank God she was found, because a lot of people were pulling for her being found and being found alive. Okay, because I mean, I think everybody's heart dropped when everybody found out that she was actually kidnapped and missing. Because as soon as I heard it, I said that's got to be a trafficking situation, because trafficking is at an all-time high right now. Especially if you live in Atlanta, Georgia, it's very high there, and other cities and towns as well. Okay, yeah. So please be careful. Please be careful, everybody, because it's so much going on. Now, I did also see a post where there was an awareness going on where if you're actually driving, whether it's day or night, and you see cones placed on both lanes of the highway, they're saying do not get out of your car to remove those cones, because it could be a setup. There have been a lot of people, and their cars have been taken. Random people who are setting people up to rob them. That is their way of robbing them, because you're going to get out of the car to move that cone so that you can proceed where you're going. So if you see something like that in the road, they're saying, hell, if you got to drive over the damn cone in an effort to save your life and not snatched up to be trafficked or worse, please be careful. So that is an awareness. People are placing cones on both sides of the highway, like on a two-way street, so in an effort to lure a person out of their car to rob them and or carjack them. So please, please, please be careful. Women and men. It's happening to women and men as well. People are crazy. I don't know what's going on in this world, honey, but please be careful. Okay, so shout out to Carly, honey, for being found. I'm happy that she is okay. She has family around her. They love her, and they're doing what they need to do to help her physically and mentally be in a better space. All right. Yes. All right. Martell Holt, honey. Let's talk about him. On to the next topic, honey. Martell Holt, honey, gets caught out here fake flexing. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Martell, honey, is in a very low place. He is in a very low place. He's scratching and literally trying to survive. All right. Mentally, I don't think that he's all there mentally, which I didn't think he was before. I really felt like he was barely holding on, and the reality of Melody leaving him has really done a number on him. It really has, to the point to where Martell just cannot let go. And for him to continue to do the stuff that he did to Melody, to know that you would be in this space, it's like you still on that I want that old thing back. He cannot move on with his life in it. That can be a scary situation. It can really be a scary situation. He is just really, really, really going overboard. Now, Martell, you guys, was caught fake flexing, okay, for the gram, as they call it, wearing his wedding ring that Melody bought him back in 2008. He wore this ring. When y'all know the cast had to go out for filming in Texas. Martell was caught wearing his ring, so much so that people were zooming in on the picture. They was like, what the hell Martell got a ring on for? Because we ain't been seeing him wear no ring since he and Mel separated and divorced. He ain't been seen wearing no rings. So he decided to have on his little cowboy attire, and he had on his ring. He had on this ring. So everybody was like, okay, we know he's done several interviews where he was saying that by the end of the year he was going to be married. So a lot of people, including a lot of blogs, picked it up and they speculated that maybe, hey, he's gone out here and got married, maybe to Ariana or whatever, because people say, hey, you know, if he married Ariana, she ain't gonna be able to talk whenever they have that case coming up with the Revenge P video. But then I got to thinking about it. I said, nah, yeah, I don't think he's gonna marry her. If he marries anybody. I don't see him marrying her. Okay, because he's always saying, no. When anybody asks her, are you gonna marry your baby mama? You gonna marry Ariana? He always said it with disgust, like, no. But anyway, so upon him going on there and putting this ring on, honey, Melody actually put him on blast to tell everybody, yeah, no, that's the same ring that I bought him back in 2008. So, no. That's the ring I gave him. So he is out here still wearing his damn wedding ring. And people were like, what the hell is he still putting that ring on for? What is he trying to prove? Was he trying to, I guess, maybe get Mel's attention while they're out of town in Texas filming with the crew? Like, what was it giving? It was giving weird vibes. So Martell then went live, of course, after Melody put his ass on blast to let everybody know that the ring that he was wearing was the ring she gave him. He went live to tell everybody that no, he's not married and that he is indeed a single man. I said, okay, did Ariana hear this? Does she know? Because she stays going on the internet now, trying to make everybody feel like she and Martell is like this couple now. Y'all know the little back and forth that she had with Mel when Mel asked her to pull up. Me and your baby daddy is out with our kids, calling Mel's kids, Eminem kids, her kids. Without, she made sure to throw that in there to try to get to Mel. But you can't hurt somebody who don't care. Mel don't care nothing about no damn Martell. She didn't even speak to his ass at the expo, and that drove him nuts. To where he stood back and was staring at her like some psycho. He really wants her attention. He really realizes that he really effed up. Because nothing he's doing is working. He's getting kicked out of everywhere that he lives. None of his businesses are doing well. He's embarrassed to stand up and try to speak and even try to promote any type of business because he knows that he sucks. He don't have nothing to offer. He's in so much debt. Martell is miserable. Miserable. But then you know when bothers him that Melody pays him, she's speaking out now, and I like that about her. That she's not allowing people like Ariana to play her. That she's not allowing people like Ariana to play in her face, and she's not letting. She's putting people ass, which she should. I'm all for it. He was wearing that wedding though, which sparked a lot of rumors because I saw a lot of people, a lot of bloggers pick it up and say, "Oh, did Martell gonna get married?" Because he said by the end of the year. But I feel like his focus needs to be on working on himself. He needs to be working on himself. Martell has a lot of issues and a lot of demons that he don't want to address, and I think that it scares him, the things that he actually is going through. And when Marcus kind of hinted on it, and we talked about it in the review, when Marcus said you had a lot of things in your childhood, I know where it came from. It came from your childhood. Martell seemed to be very, very uncomfortable, and it pissed him off and made him mad that Marcus even brought it up. And I keep saying I feel like he might have been violated. I'm going to say allegedly. It gives violation in some way. It's some type of abuse or violation is what it feels like to me. She's going to continue to hold on to Martell because she don't really have anything else either. Martell is her lifeline, and he holds on to Ariana because Ariana listens to him. That's the only reason he has Ariana around. And he can jump up and down on her whenever he feels like it. But the fact that Ariana, and he already said that Ariana is a great listener. She listens to him. So he's able to go to Ariana and vent. And it's so crazy that she's there. She's in love with him. But she listens to him vent all the time about Melody. And I'm sure he talks about Melody 24/7. That would irritate me as a woman who is in love with a man trying to build something with him. And his conversation is always about his ex-wife. That would irritate the hell out of me. Like, damn, you're not over her. But Ariane, in order for her to save face, she's got to go on social media and make it seem like that Martell is just only into her, that he don't care about Melody. But you got to think about, why would he want to release a video on his ex-wife if he don't care about her no more, and he's moving on with his life when they've been divorced already 3 years? Like, the feeling should not be that strong for this person if, in fact, he's moved on. He has not. And I don't think he ever will. And I think the real crazy in him is going to come out when Melody actually gets married again. It bothers him that she's dating. Trust me. It bothers him that she's dating and getting flowers from men and all this stuff. That bothers him. Finally says I do to somebody else. That's when I really think that Martell is really see that it's over. Because he's still running around saying, since the separation between Melody and I, he really feels like he's just separated. He really feels like there's still a chance for him. That's why he put that ring out. Martell has not registered with him that he and Mel are actually divorced. Did y'all pick up on that? Was it just me that picked up on that? It has not registered with Martell that he and Melody are actually divorced. He really feels like, okay, I'm going to just leave her alone for a while. I'm going to continue to keep trying. Okay, and then maybe I'll just kind of wear her down to the point to where she'll just come on back to me, because I can't make it without her. He really can't. He really can. And I think that it's embarrassing to him that all the things that he's lied and said that, because I retired her into being into, doing, real estate, all this other stuff. But you're not good at it, Martell. You're not good at it. Why is your mama still working if you out here retiring everybody? Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You are retiring everybody, you making everybody, but you're the one that's suffering the most. Melody's doing well. And he sees that, and it bothers him that he done stuck his own foot in his mouth. Martell is just like Ariane. They talk so much until they don't realize that they be talking way too much and looking so crazy. If they could just be quiet. If they could just be quiet. It's weird. That should bother you, Ariane, that he's out here wearing a whole wedding ring that Melody gave him. Out here fronting and flexing. He just want to be able to look down at his finger, and it just reminds him of all the good times that he and Mel had. He's not living in reality, and that's crazy. And I keep saying it feels like a touch of CTE with Martell. He done been hitting the head too many times playing football. Way too many times. He might need to go get checked out, for real. Because the delusion that he lives in can be very dangerous. That on top of the fact that he may be taking some other things that he might not need to be taking. For real, for real. And Carlos King, they continue to co-sign his behavior and not make him get the necessary help he needs. Martell doesn't want to get help. We saw that when the judge ordered him to go get it for the children. He don't want to get it because I think he's scared to actually face and acknowledge the things that he's actually been through, what really got him in the place that he's in. That's scary for him. Martell really, he tries to act like he's this tough guy, but he's really not. Deep down, Martell is very soft. I see it. He's very soft. Trust me, them muscles is for the outside appearance, for the outer appearance, for people to believe that he's just this tough guy. He wants to appear to be tough. That's why he stays in the gym. But Martell is very, very weak. He's a weak man. He's a very weak man. He's a very damaged man. And he's looking for the next woman to take care of him that he can vent to and make him feel stronger than what he perceives himself to be. He wants people to believe that he's a strong individual. Martell is very weak. Martell was his strongest when he was with Melody because she was the strong one. He was able to tap into her strength in an effort to make himself feel like he was the strong one. That's why he would take all the credit whenever he was with it. It made sense for him to take all the credit, and it was believable at that time for some people, the pick-me's. But by Mel leaving him, it exposed him, and now he's just out there, Martell is just roaming. Just anything that he can do. He's just roaming. Let's move on. Y'all know that Carson Blue has already said she fears for her life because Martell and Ariane, she feels that they may do something to her She has filed and pressed charges against them because she says, hey, and she did out a disclaimer, says if anything happens to me, then hey, I'm leaving a paper trail because I feel like Martell and Ariane may do something to me. I fear for my life. Ariane, in the part 3 video with original Straight No Chaser, has already said something about K-I-L-L-E-D. When it comes to Carson, she's going to mess around and get K-I-L-L-E-D. Well, she said K-I-L-T, killed. But, yeah, you cannot say something like that. That is a threat. That's communicating threats. Carson did hear about it, and then she spoke about it. And she did say that she was going to press charges, which she should. Because with the mindset that Martell has right now, I don't put it past him. Anytime you expose someone who is narcissistic like that, it could be very scary. Martell, his aggression and his energy is always towards women. Okay? He really, you can tell he hates the hell out of Carson now that she exposed the hell out of him about this plot. Had she not said anything, he and Ariane were able to kind of move silently and do what they were going to do to Melody. But because Carson spoke about it, now it has pissed him off. Now he don't want her on the show. Now he wants to quiet her, and what better way to do it than that? So she is afraid for her life because she feels like that Ariane and Martell could be cooking up something to do. Martell, he's been kind of quiet. That could be scary too. At least if he's talking, you can kind of pick his brain to see what kind of mindset he has. But when a narcissistic, crazy person like Martell is quiet like that, I don't know. And now that Ariane is getting bold enough to kind of come out and be saying things, which kind of lets you know what her mindset is. And that can be very scary as well, because we know women, I mean, I keep saying, look at For My Man. We know a lot of women will go to certain lengths to do things for their man. That's illegal, that could land them in prison probably for the rest of their lives. I keep saying she really feels like they could do something to her, and that could be a very scary situation. So she may want to make sure she got some cameras around as well. She might want to be looking over her shoulder as well. Now, y'all know Carson have been seen on another episode of Love, Marriage, Huntsville, and I know that pissed Ariane off as well. Ariane, honey, the only chance you had to be on Love, Marriage, Huntsville was on a phone call with Martell, and that's when he asked you for a whole paternity test for Knox. He was saying he didn't even believe that Knox was his son. So that was your only chance of being on Love, Marriage, Huntsville. So that had to be embarrassing. That had to be very embarrassing. That had to be very embarrassing. I mean, I don't know. She's been trying to get on this show forever. And the one chance you do get on there, Martell tried to make you seem like you just this hoe out here running around, you know, schlong hopping. And he don't feel like that son is his. And he did say in this past episode when the lady that was talking about the birth control, when she was trying to explain to him about the birth control, he did say, I should have met you a long time ago. Now, was that a little shot or subliminal towards Ariane, as to say that he didn't want Knox? Maybe he should have, you know, had some type of birth control then to prevent him from having Knox. Because y'all know Ariane was pregnant, like I said, all 4 times from Martell, and each one of those children before Knox, she was made to get rid of by Martell. So when she decided to have Knox, that's when his life really turned upside down. That's when his life really turned upside down. So I feel like, I'm not saying he don't love Knox, but I do feel like he regretted Ariane having this child, because that got him in the place that he's in. Like, that really put the final nail in the coffin to where Mel really wasn't coming back. Because with all the cheating that he had done for years with Ariane, Mel still took him back. Okay? But now that Ariane done had this baby, there's no way in hell that Melody is about to go back and be helping Ariane take care of this damn child. Like, for real. Like, it's a point of no return at this point. But he did say, oh, I should have met you a long time ago. I said, oh, are you trying to say that you would have taken some birth control to avoid having Knox? Or was that a shot at Mel with your other kids, the M&M kids? Like, what are you trying to say here? I'm leaning towards the fact that maybe Knox, because I really feel like he still blames Ariane for the demise of his marriage. But it's your fault had you stopped cheating. your ass probably would have still been with Mel, because she was willing to still take you back, only if you stop cheating. And I said, damn, don't nobody forgive nobody that much but the Lord, child. I wouldn't have stayed, but hey, to each his own, honey. To each his own. I mean, damn, you had a good one there, sir, because there's not a lot of women that take a man back when they on that level of BS. And Martell has done a lot of BS. So for Mel to be that forgiving, to want to still take you back and try to work things out for the sake of your family, like, sir, you really blew it. And you can't be mad at nobody else. You can't be running around out here talking about you want to unalive somebody because of some mess that you did. Like, damn, you really fumbled the bag for real. For real, for real. It's crazy. So, shout out to you, Carson, baby. Do what you feel you need to do in terms of protecting yourself and your family, because you never know what Martell. Ariane said he popping up on her and hiding down the street and popping up and looking at her windows. It's in him. He is a stalker. He's been stalking Mel. Mel says that she done looked up at her rearview mirror and saw Martell following her. That's got to be a scary situation. He's unraveling. So I don't put it past him. A person like that, I don't put it past a person like that to do those types of things. You following people, you popping up. Mel had to have him sanctioned for just showing up at her house unannounced. That could be scary. What are your motives? What are your motives for doing that? I mean, if he's doing it to Ariana and Mel, shit, I don't put it past him to do it to Carson. Martell is a dangerous individual. He's a dangerous individual. His brother kind of hinted on it at the expo when he was talking to Mel, when he said, yeah, you know how my brother is. You know how my brother is. Yeah, I know how my brother is. I mean, what does that mean? Now, we know you crazy, Rhino Nick. We know your ass is crazy. Well, you trying to subliminally say that you know your brother is crazy too? Because we have seen him in action. We've seen Martell in action, so we know what he is capable of. So, shout out to them. I will be going live again, you guys, when I get off today for a pop-in, because I do have some more topics that I want to talk about that I did not get to finish, okay? So I'm going to go on in here, honey, and get this work done so we can get off and get on out of here and do this other video, okay? Because Mondays are very rough for me. I'll just be like, oh, Jesus, I'd be so glad to get off when I get off on Mondays, because, honey. But, yes, so I'm going to do a pop-in today for you guys so that we can continue our conversation and our topics, okay? But thank y'all for joining us this morning. I hope you guys enjoyed the topics. Please hit the like button if you did not. Please subscribe to this channel also if you did not. We got 928 in the building, 343 likes. Thank you so much for the likes. Can we get them up, guys? If you did not hit the like button on your way in, please hit it on your way out. Also, please leave comments. I do read them. I do respond. It do be me, all right? Love you guys all the way down. Thank you, Moms, for doing a great job for keeping the trolling down. Thank you, content creators that join us in the bushes or in the live, okay? Thank you, haters, for being here as well, because, hey, you gave me a view. All right, so let's get on out of here, you guys. I will see you guys later on today for the pop-in video, all right? And you guys have a blessed day, and please do not be stressed. Don't let anybody stress you out at work, honey, okay? Let's get on out of here, and goodbye. Love you that way.